welcome to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him at GodsFiveMinutes@gmail.com. Now, here's Ed Wilson with God's 5 Minutes.
Hello, friends. The Bible speaks in some very profound and sometimes even mysterious language of tremendous changes to take place, blood, fire, pillars of smoke, heavens passing away with a great noise, elements melting with fervent heat, the earth also and the works that are therein being burned up, and other similar things. There have been terrific clashes of opinions over what these things mean, if they are indeed literal descriptions of physical events, and whether they are spiritual ones. While no doubt there are sublime truths to be garnered in them, the very abstruseness of the language tends to throw a simple person such as me back on his common sense. With that thought, please listen to some verses from the 46th Psalm. God is our refuge and strength, the psalmist wrote, a very present help in trouble. Therefore will we not fear, though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea, though the waters thereof roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof. Selah. There is a river, the streams whereof shall make glad the city of God, the holy place of the tabernacles of the Most High. One way to look at the scriptures which speak of blood, fire, pillars of smoke, and so forth, coming on the earth, is to think of them as describing political commotion and turbulent conflict among the world's vast diversity of populations, with their endless raucous voices clashing so restlessly. Or we may think of the moral decline being suffered by Western civilization, and wonder if that has something to do with the furies to which those old prophets pointed. Whatever, in these comforting verses of the 46th Psalm, there is a refuge. It is eternal, it is for us, it is safe. No matter what wars and perils come about in the weary, laboring world, God is forever a refuge and strength to his own. Events of recent years have shown that while science can benefit a nation or people, it can also be a very weak reed. The philosophies of modern-day thinkers are undergoing bewilderingly rapid changes, and in the process trying to upend cultural mores that have been the very backbone of our ancestors' understanding of life. One wonders if they can change this much in, say, 20 years, if another 20 may not see them change back as much, only in another direction. No matter, to the believer, the more things change, the more they remain the same. Because God is our refuge and strength, sang the poet, therefore will we not fear, though the earth be removed and the mountains be carried in the midst of the sea. Whether that's talking about a meteorite strike that jolts the earth out of its orbit, or some tremendous tornado is going to hit Mount Shasta and shift it 75 miles or so to the ocean, or if instead is talking about political parties and movements battering themselves and each other to jelly, the calm, secure residence of God's people will forever remain the same. God is our refuge, therefore will we not fear. There is a divine tenderness and deep commitment woven into the language of this holy psalm. For instance, God knows that when the earth is shaking and the tornado howl is terrifying, our hands may tremble a little. Hear him tenderly reach out to us, his own sheep, to quiet our alarms. He is not just ever present, as always. He is very present. The times of greatest danger are the times when it seems we could almost reach out and touch him. These things are not only true on a broad worldwide scale, they fit each of our individual lives. When our waters roar and are troubled, when financial difficulties hit or illness stalks on its dragon feet into our homes, God is still God. Whatever life's trouble, we can take it to him and expect him, as we are his people, to be there for us. In contrast to the turmoil and upset described into these verses, the poet wove into his message a snapshot of a softly flowing little river to make us glad along the journey. Have you talked to God today?
You have been listening to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him by email at GodsFiveMinutes@gmail.com. Tune in next time to hear more encouraging thoughts from God's Word on God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson.